welcome to CoderDojo Virtual Edition. This is week 4. My name is Lori, and today we're going to return to our Scratch program, and we're going to introduce the concept of variables, which is a key concept in introductory coding. Let's return to the game we coded last week. We noted last week that when Doug the diver moved and crossed paths with our shark, nothing occurred. When the two sprites collide, the game should be over. So, what we're going to do is use if and then statements to help make a decision as to what happens when there's a collision between these two sprites. We make decisions every day, such as when it rains, we would use an umbrella. If it's not raining, you don't. Computer games do the same thing. Programmers use conditional statements such as if and then. When Scratch reaches an if and then block, it runs the block inside of the if and then statement only if the statement is true. We're going to drag a yellow if and then block onto a blank part of the script. Now we're going to add a pale blue sensing block to the top of the if-then block. So here's the sensing block. If our shark is touching the mouse pointer, what do we want to happen? Well, we're going to go back to the controls and we want to stop the game. So, if the shark is touching the mouse pointer and Doug is the mouse pointer, then we want the game to stop. The next part of the game that we need to code is to have Doug actually able to collect pink starfish. So we're going to click on our sprite. And just like before, we're going to start with the event when the green flag is clicked. From there, we're going to do a loop. So our loop is going to say forever. We'll slide that over. We know that that's going to keep repeating forever. What are we going to repeat? Well, we're going to put an if and then statement in the forever box so it continually repeats. If our starfish, Pinky, is touching our mouse pointer, which is Doug. So if Doug connects with Pinky, what do we want to happen? Well, we want Pinky to move. So we're going to get a motion block here, and we're going to say go to X. In Scratch, the location of our sprites on the stage is determined by an X and Y axis. The X-axis goes horizontally across the screen, and the value of X can be anything between negative 240 and positive 240. The Y-axis goes up and down our screen, and it is shorter and can vary from minus 180 at the bottom to plus 180 at the top of the screen. We want to have the X and Y axis to be random. So for the first time, we're going to go to the Operators code button, and we will see a block that says Pick Random. So we're going to slide that over here for the X-axis, and we're going to have it say, we're going to say Pick Random from, remember I said minus 240 to plus 240. And then our random y-axis, we'll do the same thing. Slide the pick random over to the y-axis. And remember that y-axis can run from minus 180 to plus 180. You'll see that what we expect now is when we click the green flag, this loop will continue to repeat. And what will happen is if Pinky, our starfish, is touching the mouse pointer, which is Doug, then we want it to go to a random X coordinate and a random Y coordinate. Let's click the green flag and see what happens. See if Doug touches. And we saw first that our starfish moved to a random spot. Secondly, because I was watching Doug and the starfish, the shark actually got Doug, and then the game ended. The last thing we're going to review this week is the use of variables. We're going to use variables to keep score. Doug will receive 1 point each time he collects a pink starfish. A variable works like a box that you can store information in, such as a number that can change. In computer programming, we give variables names, perhaps like score, and we use them for storing any kind of information. Let's make a variable to keep score of our game. So the sprite that we want to highlight is Pinky the starfish. With Pinky highlighted, we'll go to the code buttons, that one that says variables. Click on variables. In this list, we will make a variable. Our new variable name is going to be score. And we're going to say for this sprite only, which is Pinky. So let's click score, and there we see Pinky is the variable score. The score counter will show up in the top left corner of the stage, but you can move it anywhere you would like to see it. We want our score to start at 0, so we'll choose Set My Variable to 0 and put it right under when the green flag is clicked. And instead of My Variable, we'll look for the variable we've called score. After we see that our Pinky starfish is touching Doug the diver, we'll want to change our score by 1. So if Pinky touches Doug, then Doug has collected a starfish, and we're going to give him 1 point for his score. So instead of My Variable, we're going to click Score. Let's see how this works. Doug got one. He's now collected 3 starfish, and the shark caught him, so the game is now over. This concludes our first game that we've made in Scratch. We learned about variables, X and Y coordinates, loops, how to make sounds. This underwater collecting game is a basic game, but there are many, many things you could add to this, and you are limited only by your own creativity. Feel free to go and explore the Scratch program further. Don't forget that there are many tutorials to choose from to help you code new games, stories using Scratch.